Hello Internet, I'm Dan.
And I'm Chaz. This is the Wine and Serious Business Show, episode 66. We're at Johan Vineyards today. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to give you guys another interview with some winemakers, some people who we think are doing some of the best things going on right now in the Willamette Valley. Let them share their opinions. Let us, all together share our opinions of their wines with you, and give you some insight into what's gotten us excited about tasting wine locally. So with us here today, we've got Dan and Dog, the winemaker and owner of Johan Vineyards respectively, and we'll let them tell you a little bit about themselves.
Hi, I'm Dan Rickey. I'm the winemaker and vineyard manager at Johan Vineyards. And I'm just happy to be here and share this day with you guys and try some of our wines.
Sweet.
Cool. I'm Doug Johan Subby. I'm the owner of Johan Vineyards. Came here about 6 years ago to grow grapes, make wine. It's uncommon for a Norwegian, but that's what I wanted to do.
Awesome.
So I'm happy to be here too. It's just exciting.
And so to start out, we've got like a special Pinot Gris with a Norwegian name, right?
That's right.
And how do you pronounce that appropriately?
Drueskall.
Right.
It's the proper, Norwegian translation or pronunciation. You probably say Drueskall, but it means grape skin in Norwegian. And the reason we named it grape skin is because it's fermented on the skins, skin macerated Pinot Gris.
Which is pretty cool. And if you look back through our archives, like we blew up one of their Pinot Gris a while ago. I think these guys right here are making the best Pinot Gris in Oregon. We've both been really excited with what they're doing. So, we're excited to talk about it. And we were just talking to them recently. They've increased their production of Pinot Gris because it's been successful. And I don't know how many other vineyards in Oregon can say that. Like they're doing something really interesting. And this is a unique take on the production as well as the quality that they present. So, let's get into it. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well, the first thing about this wine is the color is a crazy color. Like this is unlike any other Pinot Gris I've ever seen in my life.
It looks like aged Sauterne almost, right? Like,
Actually, it's very coppery, very sort of, just orange.
Yeah,
Clear orange, a clear amber.
that just comes from Pinot Gris. The variety itself is Pinot Gris, which means Pinot Gray. The skins themselves are actually like an orangish kind of gray or reddish color, but a lot lighter than Pinot Noir.
It's something that I really get on the nose. So you talk about the orange color and like the orange nature of the wine. That certainly implies a suggestion, of orange scents in your mind, and that's definitely coming to me. There's an orangerness and there's also like a roundness, kind of like a melon flavor, rich but not like syrupy, kind of like you get like condensed peaches or apricots. It's not like that. It's like a melon and really clean, maybe like a white floral note as well. Anything on the nose that jumps out to you guys?
To me, it's like pumpkiny. Like this is sort of fall in a nutshell. Like there's pumpkin scents, there's sort of like leaves on the ground after they've fallen off the tree.
Nice.
Really, really interesting, and unlike any other Pinot Gris I've ever smelled, which is the fun thing about this wine. Like, sometimes you say interesting about wines that are just like, you don't know what to say about them. Like this is, I didn't know what to say about this when I first tasted it. Yeah, it's very delicious. I would never call this out in Pinot Gris in the lineup. Like that's kind of the thing.
That's a good point too. Like it's definitely not your standard Pinot Gris in that sense either, which is kind of what you were shooting for, right? You're like,
Absolutely. I do get some of the same notes I get from a Pinot Gris in there, but it's got a lot more to it, I think. Just adds
More
to the
complex.
complexity
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, just a Pinot Gris that makes you think a little bit.
And what brought you guys onto this? Like, why did you want to do this skin macerated Pinot Gris?
Mostly it was from inspiration of drinking some wines from northeastern Italy and Slovenia.
awesome.
So you do Pinot Gris, or do other wines that are
They've
skin
been
macerated?
doing Pinot Gris and Ribolla Gialla and some other Italian varieties, indigenous varieties.
That just excited you and you wanted to try it out here.
Yeah, exactly.
And they take a little bit further than we did. This was fermented 10 days on skins and then pressed off at about 16 bricks.
Okay.
Went from 24 down to 16. We pressed off and barrel fermented the rest. But in Italy or Slovenia, they could be on skins for 3 months.
Wow.
They push the envelope.
Yeah.
What does the color come out with those wines like compared to
Depending on
this?
the variety that they do, but the Pinot Gris tend to be more of this color, maybe a little bit more orange. this is a
You
little
know,
bit
like
more
deeper.
undercover.
Yeah,
A little
okay.
deeper. Usually bottling with a little bit more lees content also.
And the talk he was giving about the nose, like the pumpkin thing, is really fascinating. I'm really getting some of that on the palate. Again, some of this richness that isn't sweet. And I think that's a fantastic contribution, you know, to the wine as a whole and kind of a unique experience. The acidity is still strong and full, and it keeps the palate clean. And there's just a little bit of fruit. Like now we're just getting a little hint of white grapes, maybe some peaches, but without the syrup, without the thickness that a lot of times when you talk about peaches, that's what that suggests. It's still a dry flavor all the way across. Really nice.
The other thing on the palate that really interests me is a white wine with tannins. I definitely get tannins coming across on this. And
Nice.
It's got like a
Just along the side of the tongue, just a little bit.
Really fine grit. Yeah, just a beautiful tannin profile, which I think will match great with some foods.
For sure.
I get that, yeah.
This is Thanksgiving wine. Actually, yeah.
Totally. Time is
For
short.
sure.
I mean, if you're seeing this, I guess it's the weekend, it's the week after Thanksgiving by the time you're seeing this, but it's still fantastic for the holidays in general. Really interesting, and this is out, right? This is available.
Thanksgiving weekend will be its
Ah,
release.
fantastic.
And we made all of one whole barrel of it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So if you want something unique that's made in Oregon, come out to the Johan Tasting Room, pick out some of this stuff.
It'll be hard to get.
Absolutely delicious and unique and complex. Like it's really a whole package like white wine. The tannin thing is not something I was even looking for, but the second you brought it up, it's like still kind of getting the sides of my tongue.
Yeah, complex, delicious, great stuff. Now on to consistently one of my favorite wines for a couple of years. These guys are pretty new. When was your first? What was the first vintage that you were involved in as a winemaker?
2007.
All right. So brand new, and so I've been aware of you guys, I guess, about the same time that you started. And the Reserve Chardonnay has always been fantastic. I think you know by now that I'm a big fan of the city, that I like white wines a lot in general. These guys are doing some wonderful things with white wines in Oregon, even though they don't make Riesling. I think they deliver some fantastic white options. So I've been really excited about what they do. And their Reserve Riesling has consistently been excellent.
Chardonnay.
Oh, goodness.
It's all good.
Yeah, do I cut that? I might not cut that. Let's
No.
The Chardonnay rocks.
Let's smell some Chardonnay.
Yep.
Really cool flavor profile on this, and like what.
And to me, this has opened up a lot since we opened it up, just 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
A lot more. We got a lot more fruit coming out. It was a little bit shut down.
The nose initially,
At the
yeah.
beginning, yeah.
Because initially I was struggling past like oak and coconut,
Mm-hmm.
and that was almost like everything I was getting. And this
The
is
coconut's dead on, but it's still definitely showing.
Right.
It's great. What excites you about this, especially in regard to the non-reserve Chardonnay?
Well, it's a completely different way of making wine. I mean, Dan can probably tell you more about the technical stuff, but I mean, the estate Chardonnay, we wanted to make a clean, crisp, acidic, kind of like seafood style Chardonnay, and it's 50% stainless, 50% neutral oak for 6 months, and more ready right off the bat. Whereas this is aged, fermented for 18 months on French oak, and we'll do better in the cellar and
Nice.
keep improving.
So this is the estate Chardonnay and then the reserve Chardonnay all come from essentially the same grapes. It's just at that point the way that the wine is made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a block selection. So
Okay.
it all comes from our block 6, which is their Chardonnay block. We have 3 different Dijon clones planted there.
So as you're picking, you can see that, right? Like, and you'll
Yeah,
say,
I have,
okay, we'll
I have
set
the
these aside.
areas of the block that I feel make higher end wines or
Okay.
better will make a better wine.
Right.
And we pick our reserve from that area.
Awesome.
And we definitely drop more fruit in that area too, so the yields are lower, a little bit more concentrated fruit.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, we treat it like a true reserve wine.
Right.
What sort of yields? Or in the, for this
well,
vintage?
2008, the yields were like 1 1/3 ton per acre.
That's pretty specific. Awesome.
2
Yeah.
tons per acre.
Isn't that really low?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
extremely low.
Extremely low, yeah.
Especially for Chardonnay.
Okay.
Because usually Chardonnay, in California, I wouldn't doubt it, there's places that crop their Chardonnays at 10 tons per acre.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, 'cause
We can't get that here, but I
people
mean,
were
some,
bitching about 2010 Pinot being like that low.
yeah,
right,
and
and-
it was similar, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, some years our Chardonnay block would yield like 5-6 tons per acre if we did not drop fruit.
Drop fruit,
But, you know, we don't want to go there.
That's because it's capable of producing something wonderful.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, and Chardonnay naturally has larger clusters than Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
Sure.
So as long as you get a good side, yeah, it's really easy to get high yields.
So I love this nose. When you continue on with the coconut is dead on, and there's like this tropical component to it, which isn't like the richness necessarily that you get out of a lot of popular California Chardonnay. It's not like this, you know, decadent, buttery, almost syrupy Chardonnay. There's this coconut note. There's a hint of mangoes, and again, this like white floral note that I've been seeing in a lot of white wines that I like lately. But there's a delicacy along with the richness that is really interesting, I think.
I would agree with that. This is a step above California in that sense. Like California pulls off this buttery richness, like being too much, and this is that without being too much. That's a proper explanation. It's probably not, but
You know, you can definitely tell the
It's-
influence of oak, but it's
yeah, the oak is there. There's no question, but it's
the richness comes from the fruit as well. It's fantastic.
agreed.
The things I get out of this aromatically is
Mhm.
gooseberries, and I find that very common.
For the Midwest?
Well, yeah,
No, it's a
exactly.
gooseberry.
Oregon Pinots, I get that underlying gooseberry aroma, and I
Wow.
pick it up in, you know, a lot of the higher end Oregon Chardonnays that I produce. And first time I noticed it was having Bergstrom's and tasting and smelling it, and I was like, I get it there. And then all of a sudden you can try some other ones, and it keeps showing up, and it's like a specific Oregon Chardonnay thing that I think
And I really want to make this point. So Dan grew up in the Midwest as well, Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in Minnesota. Gooseberries grew pretty abundantly around there. We've tried them before. That's never something that's come to my mind specifically when I've been writing notes. When I write like grapefruit a lot, another highly acidic kind of tart fruit. And I want to say that while that's not a word that I've used, I agree conceptually that this, you know, like tart, acidic, somewhat sharp without being offensive flavor is something that's really common across varietals locally. This tastes great too. What do you think on the palate? Thinking.
One of the palate is just rich and balanced. The fruit is like there's a tropical component heavily on it. Like there's like a sort of a pineapple-y mango with a little bit of coconut, but the oak influence definitely plays into it with a lot of acidity going into the finish, and it's delicious. There's no question. Like it's very full on the palate. Like it's not over the top, but just really nice on the palate. Like
And
yeah,
I still get a lot of minerality from this wine too, you know, next to the fruit. And yeah, I agree. I think it's a really nice balanced wine.
Yeah, and the thing I
the
like.
balance is impeccable. And it's
Yeah.
really good with the acidity in the fruit.
Yeah, and that's the thing I love about Oregon Chardonnay in particular is you can do a barrel fermented Chardonnay and still have acidity. It can be completely through malolactic fermentation and just have this awesome acidity to it that you don't see in other New World Chardonnays.
I want you to take that as a point. If you're watching this, that's something that makes this guy right here stand out, that makes these guys, what they're doing right now, somewhat unique and really impressive locally, because they can provide richness with full acidity. This wine is delivering that full on the palate. We've been talking about tropical fruits, we've been talking about a hint of butter, and I want to say that all the way through, I think you'd all agree, right? There's this undercurrent of acidity that cuts across the palate, that keeps things clean, that keeps things light, and that really sets an example of that you don't need to be flabby to be rich. You can really deliver balance, you can really deliver interesting flavors that are full and delicious and still have good acidity, keeping things light and clean. And to me, that's really exciting. I love the acid.
Yeah.
One thing that's consistent about this producer is that you guys are typically a high acid producer. I love that. Like the high acidity definitely can clean a wine like this out. Like a lot of your wines have really high acid, and if you like high acid wines, like this is the style of wine for you. Like it's really good.
What can I say? I love acid and dog's European, so
Yeah.
there you go.
That's where it kind of comes together. Yeah, no, but your whites are impeccable. Very good.
Yeah.